we already have a bill, and people don't realize this. We have a bill that was passed some years ago about federal funds that police departments receive. So there's a vast majority of police departments that receive federal funds. And in receiving those federal funds, they are to have a network to report issues of personnel, men and women police, to report those issues of incidents or problems or problem cops. And in order to, stay in the good graces of the federal government. Well, guess what happened? It never happened because there were no regulators to police that. And that's exactly what needs to happen. I'm not usually for creating any more bureaucracy in the government because that generally leads to more money being spent. But I said often in 2008, the problem was not more regulation. This was when in 2009 and 10, Dodd-Frank bill was being debated because they shift the government, all of Congress, Republicans and Democrats, sought out to take any focus off failed government policies and put it on Wall Street and the fat cat bankers, that term from Barack Obama. And it made an effort to add more regulation because they blamed it on regulation. There wasn't enough. My argument was there wasn't a problem with regulation. That was never an issue. There's plenty of regulation. The problem was regulatory oversight. And it was the lack of regulatory oversight that created the problem. Lack of regulatory oversight. Plenty of regulation, but what good are regulation if nobody is held accountable and it's being regulated? Well, so now you could argue then, is it because there was a lack of regulators? Could be. Maybe they needed more funds to hire more regulators. I don't know that. Or was it the same regulators that never went upstairs to Bernie Madoff's rest of his offices? They never left his office. Now, as somebody that used to get audited by federal SEC regulators every other year, because that's the rule, there wasn't anything. They were inspecting the bathrooms. I mean, it was ridiculous. But Bernie Madoff, for some strange reason, I'll leave that to speculation, they just, had a few days of conversations with Bernie. Amazing. So they had a rule to help regulate police force and help monitor a potential problem, but it was never followed through with. So I say that to say this. Let's not this go around get duped into thinking that, this is great. Look, we've got regulation now. Finally, we've got regulation. And finally, we've got an outline. And finally, we have a federal mandate. Finally, we are presenting a plan that police departments have to follow in order to get federal monies. Finally, we are taking care of this. We haven't ever taken care of any problems coming off the floor of Capitol Hill, either floor, without following through to make sure that there's accountability. Now, politicians hate accountability for obvious reasons. But that doesn't mean we don't need accountability everywhere else but Congress. We don't need accountability there because surely they wouldn't do anything wrong. Hey, remember to click the subscribe button right here on the screen. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when new content is added. And more importantly than anything, you don't want to miss all 3 live hours of Financial Issues every day from 9 to noon. And you can watch it on FISM.tv. That's FISM.tv.